Literally, always these boxes are in the way. Okay. I'm back for another one. Today, this week, this time, this video, I got the rhinoceros, the rhino. Everybody's heard of the rhino. Everybody knows what the rhino is. They're going extinct, pretty soon probably. But, everybody knows what it is. Got a little picture here probably. You know what a rhino looks like. It looks like that. Grayish. Got horns on it. So I got some facts here about the rhino. Many things a lot of people probably know, like they're gray, they have horns, they're nearly endangered, their name is a rhino. It's short for rhinoceros. They eat plants. I'm sure everybody knows those, but I've got some things here that maybe you don't know about the rhino, okay? So, first off, I'm going to start off with just some simple ones, okay? First of all, they can grow height-wise to the shoulder. They can get up to like 6.5 feet tall, depending on the sources, but most sources agree. Up to like 6.5 feet tall, which is pretty tall. And they can get to, they can get like, excluding like the baby rhinos and everything, they can be as small as like 6-7 feet, but they can also get like as long as like 12 feet, which is pretty long. 12 feet by 6.5 feet, that's a pretty big animal. The second one I got here for you is they can, they're pretty big, so they don't get into like a sprint, but they can gallop at an upwards of like, depending on the type of rhino, because there's a few different types, but depending on the type, they can get up to like 34 miles an hour, which compared to like a race car or something, that's pretty slow. But compared to like walking down the street, go groceries, that's pretty fast, especially when you're 6.5 feet tall and 12 feet long. That's a pretty intimidating force. I'd be a little scared if that thing came charging at me, but I don't live with rhinos, and nobody will soon enough, but I'm not gonna preach to you about that. It's not what this is about, but they are going extinct, so stop. Okay, the next one I got here is the horns. We've all seen them. We all know what the rhino horns look like. Some of them have one, some of them have two. They are made of keratin, which is the same thing that most animals, including we poor humans, that's what our fingernails and hair is made out of. That's what their horns are made out of. There's just so much of it, just so densely packed. It makes this nice tough horn that can charge things with. I don't know exactly what they use the horn for, but that's what it's made out of. I don't know about you, my fingernail isn't that strong, but I guess if you pack enough of my fingernails on top of each other, it becomes a rhino horn. Next one I got here is they don't really have any natural predators, really. Like the big cats of Africa and stuff can hunt them, but they don't really, because they can tend to stick to like, the gazelles and all that stuff that they can easily take down. A rhino or like an elephant would be pretty difficult to take down as a lion, I'm assuming. I'm not a lion, so I don't know, but I'm assuming that would be pretty difficult to take down. So they don't really have any natural predators, which makes it even sadder that they're going extinct, because that means it's pretty much completely our fault. Yes, some are being killed by big cats, but the main creature, the main being at fault here is we humans. We are making this wonderful animal go extinct, and that's just pretty saddening, I think. The next one I got here is this is another one. It's a little bit of change between the sources I looked at, but they can live up to like 50 or 60 years, which is pretty long. Again, I don't really have a point of contrast here, but I guess it seems long. 50, 60 years seems pretty long. I don't know. That's a dog. That's not a rhino, unfortunately. The next one, let me check here. Let's see. Here, the next one. This one's pretty interesting, I thought. They actually don't have teeth in the front of their mouth. They probably have some, some munchers back there, but at the front of their mouth, they don't have any teeth. They use their lips to pluck, all these veggies and leaves and stuff off trees and grasses, which is kind of weird, because if you think about it, if you see a rhino and you get close enough without it getting killed in front of you, and put your hand in its mouth, now don't not too far, but it would just kind of be like rough gum, and it would hurt, but it wouldn't bite. I guess it wouldn't puncture. It'd just be like a. I don't really know how to explain it. I just think it would be weird, a weird feeling. But I'll never know. I'll never see a rhino, because they're going extinct if I haven't mentioned that, and it's our fault. All right, let's see what I got. What else do I got here? This is another one. Depending on for some reason, every sources I find always argue with each other, and I guess I'm just gonna have to go meet one myself. But they, again, there's multiple types of rhinos out there, so it depends on what type you're looking at specifically. But they can get up to like 7,000 pounds, I guess. So back to one of my first things, we got 6.5 feet tall, 12 feet long, 7,000 pounds, running at you at 34 miles an hour with a giant horn on its head. It's basically a tank. It's like the animal version of a tank without a gun, I guess. I guess I have a gun on the back of them. Doesn't shoot that far, but sacrifices must be made. The last one I got here is a bit of a. It's like a group fact. You could put it into 3 separate facts, but I'm just gonna put it into one because I'm lazy. They have terrible eyesight. They're terrible at seeing, which makes it even more terrifying because they don't know what they're charging at. Apparently, they just randomly start charging sometimes, just for the fun of it. Probably not for the fun of it. They probably think they see something, but they're blind. So they just kind of charge at a tree or something. But to make up for that, they have a very good sense of smell and hearing, which is good because without that, they probably couldn't even survive on their own without us murdering them constantly. Whatever. I'll just, I got a few more here. I'll just throw them in here. The next one I can think of is because they are pretty much the tank of the animal kingdom, they actually have pretty thick skin. It's about 1.5 centimeters thick in like some of the thickest parts. Or actually, on average, it's about 1.5 centimeters thick, which is pretty thick for skin. And it's a really dense leather, leather type of skin. So which is another one of the reasons why we're pretty much the only main predator for this thing, because lions and all these big cats and stuff, they can't really easily puncture that. I mean, with enough work, obviously you could, but it's not worth it. You can just go get a gazelle, So it's pretty much just our fault. In actually some places, because a lot of people are stepping up on this whole rhino thing, they'll have rhinos live on like their sanctuaries or their properties and things, and to stop people, like certain zoos or like exotic restaurants and stuff will have like wildlife living there. They will have to, because so many people try to kill these rhinos for their horns. I'm sure we all knew that they were killed for their horns. They're not killed for their skin. I don't know what else they would be killed for. They kill for their horns. They have to, these people that just have these rhinos and stuff, they end up having to like virtually shave off the horn to keep people from coming onto their property and murdering their rhino. In certain parts of Asia, like Vietnam, a rhino horn, it's ground down to dust, and it's eaten and mixed in with these things because it's believed to have therapeutic properties to it. I don't think it probably does, but I've never eaten one. I don't really want to either. I'd rather just see them, live. Like most things, I want to see it live. On the black market in like all these Asian countries like Vietnam and all this, the rhino horn by weight is just same price as gold on the black market, which, I mean, in one sense makes sense because there's not many rhinos left, and it's probably pretty hard. I'm hoping it's pretty hard to kill one, but also that's pretty amazing if it's the same price as gold, and it's made of the same thing my hair is made out of. In fact, I have enough hair to make a rhino horn, probably not, actually. That was an exaggeration. I probably don't have that much hair. I imagine it would take a lot of hair because rhino horns are pretty big. If the rhino itself is 12 feet long, you just look at a picture and figure out the perspectives and the angles and all that stuff, and the horn must be pretty big if they're 12 feet long and it's that big on them. My dogs are having fun today. Anyways, I think that's all I got. You know, I'd rather have a rhino. Rhinos don't bark. Rhinos don't make these sounds. I can't even talk over it. Okay. That's pretty much all I got here for you. It might have been a little bit quick video, but most of this stuff people know. People know some things about rhinos. So I just tried to find the weirder ones. The ones that I personally didn't know. To share with you guys. So, let's go on with our standard YouTube sign-off. Like, comment, and subscribe. Because I need subscribers. I need to validate myself through a tiny number on my computer. So I need those. I need those likes. I need those comments, I guess. I don't really need the comments that much, but it's nice to know that people like me. Validate me. Okay. Stay toasty.